So, dear students, from this session, we will take few problems, numerical problems on the chapter motion in a straight line. Before we begin the discussion on problems, you should list all the formulae. Okay, there are more than 10 formulae you can find in motion in a straight line, and you should list them. While listing the formulae, you should also mention or explain the, not need to explain, no need to explain. You should mention the terms, mention each term. For example, if you write V is equal to U plus AT as the formula, you should write where V is equal to final velocity, U is equal to initial velocity, A is equal to acceleration, like that. Okay, so like that you should list all the formulae. Okay, you should have all the formula list before we begin the problems, and you should also keep a separate notebook for writing the problems. Okay, so let us begin with the first problem which we have here. A car travels at the rate of 80 km per hour for 5 minutes, and then 40 km per hour for next 10 minutes. Find the total distance traveled by the body. So now what we have here is a car, okay, which is traveling, and this car, okay, is going in certain direction, and it goes with the speed of, see, at the rate means they are giving us speed, nothing else. Okay, 80 km per hour speed, and it goes for 5 minutes with that speed. Okay, and then after this point, the body, the car, same car, goes with a speed of 40 km per hour for a distance of, not the distance, for the time of 10 minutes. Now we need to find the total distance traveled by the body. So this is the diagrammatic representation. For this problem, for this kind of problems, we don't need to write the diagrammatic representation. Okay, simply we can start solving the problems, but this diagram is just for the understanding purpose. Okay, this diagram will help us in understanding the problem in a better way. Okay, now it's about the solution. So we should always have the habit of writing the given data of the problems. Look at this. What are the given data? Given data is we have two situations here, right? Okay, if I name this point as A and this point as B, this point as C, the car moves from A to B first with the speed of 80 km per hour for 5 minutes. Then car moves for 10 minutes with the speed of 40 km per hour from B to C. And now what we need to calculate is find the total distance traveled. Total distance is this distance plus this distance. Since we have two speeds, two times, right? 5 minutes is one interval of time, 10 minutes is next interval of time. So I'm going to write the time taken by the body and speeds with the different symbols. Okay, let the first speed be v1. Okay, v subscript 1, v1, first speed from A, maintained by the car between A and B, which is 80 km per hour, and the second speed from B to C, let that be v2, which is equal to 40 km per hour. Next, the time taken by the body to move from A to B, okay, first interval of time, let me call that as t1, which is equal to 5 minutes, okay, 5 minute. Next, t2, second interval of time, 10 minute. What is asked to find? Total distance. Total distance Bs. Okay, let us call total distance as S, which has to be found. So now from diagram, S is equal to S1 plus S2. What is S1? S1 is distance from A to B. Okay, where S1 is equal to AB. And what is S2? S2 is equal to distance from B to C, BC. Right? If we can find AB and BC, then we can add them, right? A to B plus B to C itself is A to C. So we need to calculate S1 and S2 to get the total distance S. Now, look at this. The car is moving with constant velocity when it goes from A to B. So there is no acceleration even in the first interval A to B and in the second interval B to C. So no need to bother about the speed, acceleration. The acceleration is 0 in both the situation. So first we will find the distance AB and then distance BC. We will add them up. That's it, very easy. So in order to find AB, no acceleration. It's going with constant speed for certain time. But the problem with this is the units given here are not same. The unit of speed given is in kilometer per hour and the unit of time given is not in hour, it's in minute. Whatever the unit maintained for speed should also be the same speed maintained, same unit maintained for time. Then only we can go for calculation. So now we should either convert V1 and V2 from kilometer per hour to kilometer per minute, or we should convert time 5 minutes T1 and T2 from minute to hour. Then only we can put the values into the formula. Okay, so keep that in mind before we start calculating. Before we put the values into the formula, we should actually have all the quantities in the same unit. So in order to bring them into common units, I'll choose to convert minute to hour. How do I do that? See, 5 minutes is T1, 10 minutes is T2. What is 1 minute equal to, or what is 1 hour is equal to? Okay, we know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, right? Now, what is 1 minute equal to? If I send 60 this side, 1 minute is equal to 1 by 60th of an hour, isn't it? 1 minute is equal to 1 by 60 hour. So in the place of minute, okay, I can put 1 by 60 hour. So T1 becomes equal to 5 into, instead of 1 minute, it will become 1 by 60 hour. It will be 5 ones are 5 12s are, right? I can keep it as it is 1 by 12 hour. That's also fine. So that's going to be 1 by 12 hour. Okay. So T1 we have got here. Okay. Next, similarly, we shall find T2. Okay. So T2 is equal to 10 minutes. So now we don't need to put this conversion. We can directly put T2 is equal to 10 into each minute is 1 by 60 hour. So T2 is going to be 1 by 6th of an hour. So now we have T1, T2 expressed in terms of hours. Okay, previously they were in minute and now they are in hour. V1, V2 are also in kilometer and hour. Okay, so don't need to bother about kilometer, let us keep it in kilometer itself. But we have converted minute to hour to match the unit of speeds. Okay, now we should put V1 is equal to 80 km per hour, V2 is equal to 40 km per hour, T1 is equal to 1 by 12 hour, T2 is equal to 1 by 6 hour. Okay, we have just converted time from minute to hour. Next, it's time to calculate the speed or the distance traveled. Okay, the total distance traveled AB, let us calculate it. Okay, right. So first we shall find AB, which itself we called as S1. S1 is equal to AB, right? Now since there is no acceleration, okay, what is the actual formula for distance or displacement? The actual formula is distance S is equal to ut plus half at squared. Since acceleration is 0, u is the initial velocity which will remain same throughout the motion, and hence it will simply be S is equal to ut or S is equal to Vt, because velocity does not change. So I can write S1 is equal to V1 T1. Following? Similarly, I can also write S2 is equal to V2 T2, where V1 is the velocity of the body when it goes, velocity of the car when it goes from A to B, and V2 is the speed or velocity of the car when it goes from B to C, and T1 is the time taken from when the car travels from A to B, and T2 is the time taken by the car when it travels from B to C. So distance AB is S1, distance BC is S2, and hence now S1 is equal to, what is V1? Here it is, V1 is 80 km per hour. So when you put the values into the formula, when you substitute the values, you should not write the units. Okay, don't need to write 80 km per hour, only the values or numbers should be written into T1. What is T1? We have calculated T1 is 1 by 12 hour. So T1 is 1 by 12 hour. Okay, yeah, sorry, no units, 1 by 12 simply. Similarly, let us also substitute the values of V2 and T2 into this, so that S2 will be, what is V2? V2 is 40. What is T2? T2 is 1 by 6, right? So now, very simple, it's only about calculation. S1 is equal to, okay, so now in board examinations you can actually make use of calculators, simple calculators, so don't need to bother. You can take a calculator and divide 80 by 12. Okay, so here is the calculator, 80 by 12, 80 divided by 12 is 6.666 recurring, which I will round it off to 6.67 kilometer, right? Because kilometer is the unit. And then similarly I shall calculate S2, which is 40 by 6, right? Which should also lead me to the same answer, 6.66 recurring. So 6.67 kilometer. Now the total displacement S is equal to S1 plus S2. S1 is 6.67 plus S2 is 6.67 again, and hence the sum is going to be 6.67 plus 6.67, 13.34 kilometer. 13.34 kilometer. This is the final answer of the question. Okay, total displacement from A to C. Okay, total distance from A to C is 13.34 kilometer. Okay, this is about the first question. Now let us take the next question. Okay, the next question is as follows. The velocity of a car increases from 30 km per hour to 45 km per hour in 5 minutes. Assuming the acceleration to be uniform, calculate the distance traveled. Okay, so there's a car whose velocity is increasing from 30 km per hour to 45 km per hour in 5 minutes. So let me write the given data. Initially, the car was going with 30 km per hour, and finally, after 5 minutes, it has the velocity of 45 km per hour. So now, as you can see, if I write the given data, initial velocity of the car u shall be taken as 30 km per hour, and the final velocity of the car v shall be taken as 45 km per hour, and this much increase in speed has happened in 5 minutes. So time taken is 5 minutes. Once again, the unit of uv are not same as of t. So before I start the calculation formula and all other things, I should bring all of them into same units. So what I'll do is I'll convert time from minute to hour. So as we saw, each minute is 1 by 12 hour. Okay, as we saw, each minute is 1 by 12 hour in the conversion, and we can make use of the same thing further. So from this, time becomes equal to 5 by 12 hour. You can keep it 5 by 12, no problem. What is asked to calculate? We are asked to calculate the distance traveled. Okay, S is equal to question mark. And here, as you can see, the speed of the car is changing, or the velocity of the car is changing from 30 km per hour to 45 km per hour, and hence the velocity is increasing, which shows us that the acceleration of the motion is not zero. So for this kind of motion, when the acceleration is not zero, we should go for the equations of motion and see which equation will suit for the required calculation. What is given? U and V are given. What is asked to find? S is asked to find. Now we should think for a formula which will connect, okay, we should think for a formula which will connect S, U, V and T. Just think over it. Is there a formula? Is there a formula which will connect displacement, initial speed, final speed and time? Yes, we do have a formula which will connect initial speed, final speed, time taken and displacement. After writing the three equations of motion, we actually took two more equations of motion, and out of them we also had a formula which is S is equal to average velocity into time, right? So what is average velocity? Final velocity plus initial velocity by 2 is average velocity into time. Okay, this is the formula for displacement expressed using final velocity, initial velocity and the time taken for uniformly accelerated motion. Acceleration is uniform throughout the motion. Okay, we can take this formula. What is V equal to? V is given 30 kilometer per hour. Sorry, V is 45. Okay, V is 45 kilometer per hour plus U. Yes, U is also given. U is 30 kilometer per hour divided by 2 into time. Yes, time is also given 5 by 12 is equal to, what is 45 plus 30? 45 plus 30 is 75. 75 by 2 into 5 by 12. Okay, average speed into time. Right, now it's about calculation. Once again we will be in need of calculator. So it is 75 into 5 by 12 into 2 is 24, right? You know that. So let me calculate it. Okay, so it is 75 into 5 is equal to 375 divided by 12 into 2 is 24. I will directly put 24. Okay, 24 is equal to 15.625 kilometer. 15.625 kilometer, right? Because kilometer is the unit, isn't it? That's it. Very easy. So we have obtained the distance traveled using a simple formula. Okay, so this is about the second question, which is very easy. Right, next question number 3 is as follows. The car moving in a straight line with the speed of 60 km per hour is brought to rest within a distance of 50 meter. Calculate the retardation in the car. So in this question, what given the situation is, a car is traveling at 60 km per hour and is brought to rest within a distance of 50 meter. It is just like applying the brakes of a moving car, where the car is moving with 60 km per hour and then the car is brought to rest. So as you know, when a car or any body decreases its speed and comes to rest, there it is retardation which is happening. When it increases, it is acceleration which happens. Now we need to calculate that retardation. What is retardation mathematically? Mathematically, retardation and acceleration are one and the same, just that retardation will have negative sign for a acceleration term. So let me write the given terms now. Okay, given factors are as follows. Okay, speed. Initially the car was going with 60 km per hour, right? U is equal to 60 km per hour. Brought to rest within a distance of 50 meters. So it is said that the car is brought to rest. When the car is brought to rest finally, it means that the final velocity of the car is 0 km per hour. And this rest, this phenomena of bringing the car into rest is happening within a distance of 50 meters. So distance traveled during this application of brake, right? When the brakes are applied, car slows down and comes to rest. During that part of the motion, we see that it has traveled a distance of 50 meter. And we need to calculate retardation. What is retardation? It is just we need to find the acceleration. That's it. Now, and then we'll see what should be written finally. But first, again, units are not same. U, initial velocity, is in kilometer per hour, final velocity is also in kilometer per hour, displacement is in meter. So now we should convert them somehow. How do we convert them and calculate? So the best way to convert is we shall convert both, because when I go to convert displacement of 50 kilometer, you can see that we will get the fraction or the decimal values, because 1 kilometer is 1000 meter, right? So this will be very less value. Okay, displacement will be very less value when we express it in kilometer. So yes, we can convert it and calculate, that's not a problem. We can even keep the answer in kilometer, or what we can do is we can convert these two factors, kilometer per hour, from kilometer final velocity and initial velocity, from kilometer per hour to meter per second. Okay, that is the other way. Right, let me go for converting displacement from meter to kilometer itself. Fine. So we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. So 1 meter becomes equal to 1 by 1000 kilometer. So displacement is 50 into 1 meter is 1 by 1000 kilometer. So now S becomes equal to 5 by 100. Let us see what is 5 by 100. 5 divided by 100 is 0.05. So what we have is S is equal to 0.05 kilometer. Or else we can also keep it as 5 by 100 or 1 by 20. That is also fine. Okay. We can also keep S as 1 by 20 kilometer. This is also correct value in a different way. Now look at this. We have U, we have V, we have S, and we need to find A. So we should look for a formula, or we should think of a formula which will connect these factors. Which are the factors? U, V, S and A. Okay, these factors has to be connected with each other using a formula which will help us in solving this. So you all know that a formula which will help us in this situation is V squared minus U squared is equal to 2AS, because we know V, we know U, we know S, and we have to calculate A. All the factors are present inside it. That's it. So what is V? V is 0 squared minus what is U? U is 60 squared is equal to 2. A has to be found into S is 1 by 20. So now 0 squared is 0, I will neglect it, minus 60 squared is 3600, which is equal to 2 ones are 2 tens are here, and I can send 10 to the other side, and hence I get the value of A is equal to when 10 comes to the LHS, it becomes minus 3600 into 10 is equal to A. So A is equal to minus 36,000 kilometer per hour square because it is acceleration. Okay, so acceleration that we have obtained now is minus 36,000 kilometer per hour square. See, when you write the acceleration, you should always write the unit like meter per second squared or kilometer per hour squared or kilometer per minute squared, like that, whatever the unit, you should always put it like that. Okay, kilometer per hour squared. That's why this big value is coming here. Okay, huge deceleration. And you can convert this kilometer per hour squared into meter per second squared also, but not necessary. You can keep the answer in kilometer per hour squared. That's also fine. And now what is this? This is acceleration of the body. That's why we have a negative sign here. Okay, so now since it is slowing down and brought to rest, therefore retardation of the body is equal to, say, 36,000 kilometer per hour square. When we write the retardation, we should neglect the negative sign and write the rest, 36,000 kilometer per hour square. One more way to express this is 3.6 into 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4 kilometer per hour square. Both are same. Okay, that's it. Very easy question. It's all about conversions, which you should be careful with. Rest everything will fall in the way. Yeah, for the same problem, I would like you to solve the question by converting the speeds instead of displacements. Okay, see, what I did is I converted displacement and solved, but I want you to solve by converting speeds from kilometer per hour to meter per second and then solve this. Okay, you try that. You will get the retardation in meter per second squared. Okay, which will be very less value. Right, next, fourth question. A train accelerates from 36 km per hour to 72 km per hour and covers a distance of 50 meters. Calculate the acceleration of the train and the time taken to cover the given distance. In this problem, we are asked to find two factors. One is acceleration of the train and the other is time taken to cover the given distance. And we are given with three factors: 36 initial speed, 36 km per hour, final speed 72 km per hour, and the distance, which is 50 meters. Let me write the given factors first. Initial speed u is equal to 36 km per hour. Final speed v is 72 km per hour. And this covers a distance of 50 meters, which is s. S is equal to 50 meters. Once again, you can start observing that we do not have the unit given values in the same unit. We have to convert them. Right, moving ahead, calculate. What do we need to calculate? We need to calculate the acceleration of the train and the time taken to cover the given distance. Okay, right. So from this, first let us find A and then go for T. Before we go for that, we should always convert the factors U, V and S into the common units. In the last problem, I converted S and kept U and V the same in kilometer per hour. And in this problem, what I'll do is I'll convert U and V and I'll keep the displacement S in meter itself. So I would like to convert U from kilometer per hour to meter per second. How do I do that? Look at that. Look at this, 1 kilometer per hour. Okay, per hour in the denominator, that's it, nothing else, is equal to 1. What is kilometer? 1 kilometer is 1000 meter divided by hour. What is 1 hour in second? Okay, you should convert. I mean it, when you convert kilometer to meter, have the habit of converting hour to second always. Okay, like this. So 1 hour is 3600 seconds. You all know that. 1 hour is 60 minutes. Each minute is 60 seconds. So 60 is into 60, 3600 seconds. So after converting, what will be left with is 10 by 36 or 2 5s are 2 18s are 5 by 18 meter per second. So 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. So this is okay. So this is the conversion factor which we shall make use to convert initial velocity and final velocity. So u becomes equal to 36 into, instead of kilometer per hour, it is 5 by 18 meter per second. 18 ones are 18 twos are. So u, initial velocity in meter per second, is 10 meter per second. And then how about v? V is 72 kilometer per hour. 72 into 5 by 18 meter per second. Once again, 18 ones are 18 fours are. So v is equal to 4 5s are 20 meter per second. So now what we have is, we have u in meter per second, v in meter per second, s in meters. And one thing is clear, we have all the factors in same unit, meter, meter per second, meter per second. Okay, I mean common unit, set of units, common set of units. So now we shall go for calculation. What do we need to find? A. What are we given with? We are given with S, V and U. Is there a formula which will connect S, A, V and U? Yes, we do have it. V squared minus U squared is equal to 2AS. Right? This is the formula. Now what is V? V is 20 squared minus, what is U? U is 10 squared is equal to 2 times acceleration has to be found into displacement, which is 50 meter. Right? Okay. 20 squared is 400 minus 10 squared is 100 is equal to 2 into 50 is 100 again into A. 40 minus 100 is 300 is equal to 100 A. 0 0 0 0 cancels. So acceleration of the body when it goes from 36 km per hour to 72 km per hour, while covering a distance of 50 meter, is simply A is equal to 3 meter per second squared. Okay. So this is what is the acceleration of the body, which is 3 meter per second squared. And this is not the only factor asked to calculate, right? We are also asked to calculate the time taken. So now let us take a formula which will give me time. Think of the formula which will connect the factors here with time. We have S, U, V, A. We need T. There are two formulas actually. S is equal to ut plus half at squared. But if we take that formula, the problem will become complex. I mean to say, the problem will have quadratic equation and will be difficult to solve. So it is better to take another easy formula, which is simply V is equal to U plus AT. So when I take V is equal to U plus AT, in this formula we have V, yes, given 20 is equal to, we have U, yes, given 10 plus what is A? A is 3 and time has to be found, easy, right? So 20 minus 10 is equal to 3t, 20 minus 10 is 10, 10 is equal to 3t, and hence t will be 10 by 3 second. You can keep the answer as 10 by 3 second itself, that is also right, or even if you divide it, it will be 3.33 recurring seconds. This is also right. Both are right way of representing or giving the answer. Okay, so easy. This is fourth question. Next question, fifth one, is as follows. A body falling from rest covers the distance of 300 meter. Find the time for the fall. See, very less data is given, only the distance is given here directly. Rest everything shall be analyzed and to be written by ourselves. Let me write the first given data, which is the distance traveled when it falls. Okay, this is the situation. First, let us look into the what kind of situation it is. A body is falling downwards like this. And it is a falling body from rest, which means at this position the body has the initial speed of 0 meter per second, right? Because the body is not moving at this point, we just left it like this, we hold it like this, we left. When we are holding it like this, its speed is 0. When we leave, it gains certain speed, and more the distance it fall, more the speed it gain. Now when the body falls completely, it covers a distance of 300 meter, which will be the height traveled by the body during the fall. And then what do we need to calculate? We need to calculate the time taken for the fall, which means the time taken by the body to fall from this point to this point. And look at one more thing, when it falls down, it gains or it takes the acceleration, or it experiences the acceleration is equal to acceleration due to gravity g, right? Okay, now so see, directly they gave only one factor, but indirectly we have two more factors given. So initial speed, yes, given 0 meter per second. Final speed is not given, we don't need it. Height fallen, which is the displacement, which is given as 300 meter. And acceleration, yes, that is also given, is equal to plus g, because it is falling down. Okay, g, okay, acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second squared. What do we need to find is time taken for the fall t. See, this is a question where we will get quadratic equation, and in order to solve it easily, I'll consider this g value as 10 meter per second instead of 9.8. Okay, so a is nearly equal to, it is not exactly 10 meter per second square, but for the numerical convenience I am considering it as 10 meter per second square. Okay, if they particularly give the value of value of g as 9.8 meter per second square, we must restrict, or we must take the value as 9.8 itself. So now it's a formula which will connect. We need a formula which will connect these factors. What and all? S U A T. S U A T. Very easy. You might be getting it into mind. S is equal to ut plus half a t squared. What is S? S is distance traveled, which is the height fallen, which is 300 meter. What is U? U is the initial speed, 0 into time. We don't know. We have to calculate time plus half. What is the acceleration? I have taken acceleration as 10 meter per second for mathematical convenience into t squared. And now 0 into anything is 0. Here we have 300 is equal to 0 into anything is 0 plus 2 ones are 2 5s are into t squared. So 5 ones are 5, 5 6 are 30. So 5 into 60, right? When we cancel it with this, so that we have t squared is equal to 60. So this is t squared. T squared. What we need is t, right? So let us calculate t now. How do we calculate t? Very simple. I just need to take the square root of this 60. So t becomes equal to root 60, which is root of 60, right? Or first you can write 60, take root. That's it. Okay, 7.7459. I can round it off to 7.75. Okay, so that will be 7.75 second, because per second squared per second, here it is meter, that's why 7.75 second is the time taken by the body to fall 300 meter of depth. Okay, that's it. This is about the 5th question. Right, we shall take few more problems in the next session. Thank you.